Good evening, Pretoria. Welcome back to the channel for another episode of Sunday Night Gospel featuring myself, RoguePatton, and my best friend, Mr. Mondroid. What's going on, Mondroid?
Hi.
Hi. Coming from you from America, where we just got off the most American weekend that you can America ever. America?
Yeah, cool.
America, fuck yeah, here to save. If you guys have never seen,
Oh,
just
demonetized.
demonetized. Great. Yep.
5 seconds in.
Oh yeah. Hey, wait. I think that's a buffer window. I think we're good. Or wait, are we not
Okay.
supposed to in the first minute? I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know the rules.
I was quiet for the first. We had a starting screen though for like 2 minutes. So I think we're good. We're good.
Okay.
Just don't do it again, Mondroid.
Yeah, well, geez.
Got those freedom pickles. Yeah. But yeah, for those of you that don't know, America celebrated 4th of July weekend. 4th of July is the time where we celebrated our independence. I don't think the 4th of July is actually tied to the actual day of independence. I don't remember. I'm sure they butchered that somehow, because I don't know exactly when the declarations and everything was signed, but it was around that time. We got away from those Brits. Ah.
This is America. They don't teach us anything,
They
so who
really don't.
cares?
They really don't. We are free to not learn anything about our history, but I think TPG has earned us some new emotes. Maybe a pickle emote. Ooh, you're right. I need to get us a pickle emote. Sadly, I got with the company. I got all the company assets and everything that they had, but I didn't actually get the badges. And nothing that they have is like directly sized well for emotes. And honestly, it's just a lot of character stuff and CA stuff. So like, sadly, I wasn't able to go that route, but I will have to dig into more and figure out exactly kind of the best way to get some emotes made, you know. Because I mean, I think frankly we have enough, like, or at least within the Splinterlands Discord and everything, I know we can generate emotes pretty quickly. But you right, Glory. We need some pickles up in here. AI, buddy. Okay. Okay. I mean, you're right. I tell you what. I tell you what. Glory, you do me a favor because I don't have any of the AI stuff. All right. You go ahead and make us up some emotes, and you send them to me in Discord, and I'll send you a pack for them. All right. If you do me that solid, let's do a couple. We definitely need something flame oriented. Definitely need a pickle. If you can do anything big brain-ish, like let's figure out what that's like. Um, but yeah, let's turn this into. I'm gonna turn this back on the community because that's delegation.
Delegate the workout to the
Delegate.
fans.
Yeah, no, but honestly, and then from there, like, you know, like if I can get a PNG, I can size it to like the right area that I need. But just in case anybody doesn't know, square images right out the gate. Like if you can create your pixels, your pickles, but create your images with the same amount of pixels to make a perfect square, then we can go from there. But yeah. Yeah, let's do it. How many emotes are we talking? Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. Let's just I can at least get, I mean, honestly, and especially with subs, I mean, we could do 20 emotes, I think, pretty easily. We can fit those. I just don't know whether or not we need 20 right now. But yeah. Something with our boy Craniacs, something with hippos, something with turtles. Definitely need turtles for tickling turtle references. Something to do with bags, because we play with our bags here. Pickles. What do you think, Mondroid. Mondroid needs an emote.
Jeez, I don't know.
I mean, they AI made you into a song, so like, I
Hey, yeah, that was
I
pretty
wonder what
cool.
Mondroid would just look like as an emote. I don't know. Dahota, welcome, buddy. First time chat. Glad you finally made it, buddy. We appreciate you. Glad you made it. The Lorcus is in the house. Thank you for the sub, my friend. Glad you made it. Glad you made it.
Oh, snap.
But yeah, pixelated pixels. Like a blurry pickle. That'd be. Oh my goodness. Isn't that what all the big streamers do? Community mods and fan creators? I mean, straight up. I can. I'm not gonna say that I'm too good to do my own work. I'm just too busy. And I love you guys to death, and I totally want you guys to have whatever you want in this stream. I can load it. I can do all that stuff. I don't have the creative bone or the patience to do the computer work to make it happen. I can hit the upload button though. I got you for that. But yeah, anybody this week, if you guys you can send them to me. You can DM them into my Discord, or you can just hit me up. If we're not already Discord friends or whatever, just snap at me. Let me know you're there, and what we can try to go about it from that route. But yeah, man, no, I appreciate it. You want us to filter the AI? Well, who is AI? I don't know yet. I feel like AI just started, and I'm already so far behind. Mondroid, have you played with AI at all?
No, not really. Not in the sense of creating stuff with it.
Yeah, have you at least talked to it?
Oh yeah, every day.
Oh, do you really?
No. I did for a while, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
I mean, I have yet to engage with AI, or at least the intentional AI, because I'm pretty sure at this point, Google does AI generated responses and all that stuff. So my Google prompts are AI at that point. But I have yet to actually engage with AI, and yeah, I think I'm gonna stay that way for a minute. I'm not super chomped at the bit to go into that realm, but you know, kudos to everybody else that's already there, because you're a million miles ahead of me. I think I'm gonna be getting into it for the first time, kind of work related is really where I'm gonna be at. Maybe to try to streamline some of the stuff I'm doing at work, make myself a little bit more efficient in that space. But other than that, that's what we got. But
Yeah, I mean, it really is a tool. How you use it is what the value you get out of it. It's not gonna fix everything for you on its own, but it's you apply it how you want it to help you.
yeah. Yep. So now our boy DeHaas is saying that Craniacs just keeps getting more and more expensive. We should have a Craniacs emote. I think that would be legit. Just a no. Craniacs no.
Nope.
No. Nope. With Craniacs. Oh man, that would be sick. And then I wish we had I think everybody would be fans, but the original artwork that we had before the full rendered version of Craniacs, I loved his face. That that masked face that they had there, oh my goodness. I was down for that. I don't know why they changed it. But yeah, let's go ahead and see what our boy Craniacs is up to right now. Oops, we need more filters.
The
Oh,
stick
there
figure
it is,
hippo.
$8. So, yeah, all the legendaries are actually holding their own pretty well. I think the summoners are still nothing's really dropping there. Yeah, so $130, $140, $170, $181. Oh my goodness, 230 something on. So, all right, I was thinking about this. All right, I was thinking about this, and I'm like, what is happening? Because frankly, I don't get it. At this point, it's gone on long enough. I throw in the towel. I can't figure out what's going on. And the thought crossed my mind. I'm like, okay, what if, like, one of the topics we'll get into today is inflation. And we are experiencing some crazy inflation regarding rating at the moment because of liquidity bots just being absolutely terrible.
Oh yeah.
But I was thinking about that from the same perspective because along those lines, I'm like, man, like we're not going to really see market-wise how this is going to hurt because Glint doesn't really carry a real value. The Soulbound reward cards don't carry a real value yet. You know what I mean? So the worst that they could do, which is where my rabbit trail of a brain went to, was they can essentially beef up a modern deck to really only need a summoner. And so we just got off rotation from the last Soulbound rewards that had a summoner that was printed with them. They realized the mistake. They said, nope, we're not going to ever do that again. So now, in order to play the game, you have to at least buy a summoner. What if that's where we're at? Is like, they're just literally like, okay, I'm just going to buy some summoners, like, because I don't know what, at $2, that's $250, or let's see, $150. Yeah, it's like 150 plus, yeah, like $170 for a maxed out summoner to kind of like pair with your maxed out reward cards. Like, is that a route that everybody's going here? Because that's the summoners are the only things that are really carrying the price. Nothing else is really going crazy, at least where the rares are concerned. So why would people be buying only summoners? Because, I mean, and especially if we're talking about the summoners, they're not equally good. You know what I mean? I would argue Kavor is probably one of the better ones. Bella and Razzie are pretty up there. Feith's is really finding a place, but I don't know. Kayleigh's not the best by any stretch. So, you right, Druid's Blood. I'm sorry, Archons. I'm sorry. My bad. I'm a summoner. Yeah, what was that?
I'm the summoner now.
Yeah, People's Guild, their last few guests, you know, that's one of the things Fat Jimmy's been calling out every time on their show is like, the way you say Archon just so easily. Yeah, I'm just as bad for that. Yeah. But yeah, Kelia is so much better than people believe. Yes, Lorcus, you are a summoner for a couple different reasons. You're an Archon and a summoner, buddy. But yeah, Kelly is so much better than people believe. I mean, I get it. Execute's great, but there's only so many targets that can do execute right now. None of them are your big hitters anyway. So like the best that I've really been able to do with her is like real low mana, because then you get the Resurrect Elf, you get Taylor, and really I think just between those two, that execute and big attack is like real good in low mana. But it doesn't justify the price. You know what I mean? Bella's the most overall well-rounded. So yeah, I don't know. But then realistically, what I've seen is like, okay, today Kaylee is up at $2.30, but like, I don't know, last week it was Bella. We've seen Feith go up there. It's just like somebody sweeps the floor on these and ramps them all up to that price, and then they'll settle back down to like the $1.50 or whatever. But that's where I just I'm just confused. why why are we buying so frequently these summoners? I don't get it. What do you think, Mondroid?
Well, I don't know. It might be a topic of a Hive post at some point, but I think you're kind of hitting the nail on the head with, there's 43 soulbound reward cards, and you can farm them up with the previous set's cards, right? So when the CA set launches, we'll be able to farm them up. And then when 7th edition comes out, you can farm those with your CA, right? And in this case, we farmed the Rebellion setup with our Chaos Legion.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just one of those things where when you have 43 free cards,
Every
all you need
year.
is the summoner, man.
Yeah,
It's like
Hmm.
we talk about that last set, like, oh, let's never do conscript summoners again. But you can see the same effect happening to all the actual pack cards, And it's like, I get why everybody's like tunneled on the conscript summoner, but when I saw that too, I was like, this is 43 cards you just don't have to buy anymore. If any of those are better than like a pack card, then the pack card becomes worthless. So it's just one of those things where I think the Soulbound set has done a lot more damage than people realize. And you look at the market like we're doing now, and why is the only thing valuable the summoners, the
Mm-hmm.
Archons? And it's like, I don't know. When I look at my Thugan account, right, I have Rebellion airdrops, and then everything else at a silver level.
Yeah.
So when I play that account, I have my Venka, my Tofu, my Lorcus, my Keelan, because I went out and splurged on that. It's a meta card. But other than that, I pretty much rely heavily on filling in with Soulbounds. And there's times where I'll play a Lorcus lineup, and I'll have the 6 mana tank with silence and immunity. I'll have like 2 other soulbound reward cards, probably the Elder with the swiftness and strengthen. And it's like I'll have the Arborist or what the Dark Arborist, I think it's called, the 4 mana with
Mm-hmm.
Void and Magic Reflect. And it's like you can fill in a pretty good lineup with just you got your Keelan Gains and then Soulbounds, and it's like that account. I mean, we'll look at my post too at some point, and it's like that thing is just pulling in so much SPS for like comparative value to my main account. It's pretty interesting when you think about it that way.
Yeah. I mean, general print between the two is still really low, but like the price doesn't really justify, like the price on the rest of the rares outside of the summoner. So like Rebellion goes on rares from 10 cents up to um 53. Before you get into summoners, you have Soothsayer at 70, Moxie and Rebel at a $1.30. So, but the summoners themselves. So then I guess like also why aren't you just going after these summoners? The tactics versus the bloodlines, you know what I mean? Like if price and just farming is the thing, I guess that's when we get into 1 year versus two. Like they're making an investment now that they can carry for 2 years, essentially.
Yeah, so it's that's life expectancy. That's
Mm-hmm.
another part of the equation because we know how wild and all the bots work. So the closer you get to that is death. So
Yeah. So the
nobody wants to
rares,
play that league. So
I mean, Silverleaf and Shadowfey are getting up there, 84 cents and 73 cents. So, I mean, I guess that's even crazy too. You got two rares that are now getting close to paying outside of the summoners. You've got two other rares that are looking like they're going to pay for the starter pack. And I'm like, man, what is going on here? But then, yeah, everything else is like 21 cents up to 50, but half the print rate that we have on Rebellion right now. But like those prices just they're low. So what is the demand on these? And that's what it's got to be. It's just got to be accounts kind of turning some earnings into these so that way they can continue to kind of play at the highest levels. And honestly, seeing how high like bronze or single BCX is playing up to, I guess, sure. You can run with like a gold level of this and all your reward cards and probably be playing really high. So,
Yeah, and like there's a lot of different factors, so I didn't mean to just like tunnel on the soulbound cards, but
mhm.
yeah, like so like if the liquidity bots are underperforming and you can move up, with a weak deck, like for example, using the old system, like if you got bronze cards in Gold League, that shouldn't be happening in my view, but it's currently how allowed, the way the liquidity bots are set up to be pushovers, so
Yeah. No, it's definitely looking that way right now. And then honestly, even just in our big brain from last week, we saw that there were two, or who was it? Dahas's battle. He was playing in gold with single BCX cards, and so we're seeing it again. And I would argue that was kind of even maybe before the liquidity bots. I don't really. They feel like the liquidity bots feel like they just kind of sprung up this season. It was almost like they made a tweak and a modification and went after those a little bit different this go around. Or at least that's how it feels for me. Because I
yeah, the
didn't.
champion ones for sure just came online this season.
That's definitely what it feels like. So, switching gears then, so that everybody kind of knows what we're talking about here, is champion specifically is experiencing a huge amount of rating inflation, to where like I would say like myself on Vorkus, I've already surpassed the rating that I've like my best rating that I've ever ended at, and we're halfway through the season, but at 4740, and I'm 44th on the leaderboard today. Usually at that rating, I finish like, I don't know, top 50, but I think it's usually like, I don't know, 35 or something like that. So I'm less than where I usually am, but higher in rating already. And there's already, oh my goodness, 30
So
players.
looking at last season, that was 32nd place at the end,
Yeah, there we go.
4740.
So last season, just to give you an idea. So right now, uh, we're already seeing people where we ended last season, and we're only halfway through the season. So last season, by the end of it, oh, my bot, get out of here. By the end of it, there was, I think 25 players that were above 5,000. And for those of you that don't know, the 5,000 rating is important because that's the cap for earnings, essentially. With the way the mathematical calculation for SPS per win and your rating is concerned, 5,000 it'll just, even if you're above 5,000, it won't calculate more than 5. So every game past 5,000, you're at max SPS. And the majority of people, more people have already gotten there halfway through the season than in any season previous to this. So that's a problem. But wasn't that RP formula changed? I don't remember it being changed. Mondroid, do you know if it was changed?
I guess I don't either.
Let me let's see if we can just close our tournaments. Go like this.
Yeah, on Thugan, I hit Champ 1 for the first time ever already this season. Usually I don't even get there, so on that account anyway.
Oh, can't get there from here. Don't know. If you have an updated link for that, Shangles, let me know. Can I send you an emote now? I mean, yeah, we might be able to load one in here right away if that's what we want to do. I think that was part of what was done with the survival rework. Well, survival was a little bit different. I thought whatever work they were doing there wasn't supposed to affect us. And I mean, I know liquidity bots were something that they were supposed to be doing in survival, but whatever they've done, they've also done it in champion too. So, but it's broken a couple things in my opinion. I think for one, the gameplay itself has gotten diluted. I find that I don't have to put in any effort to battle these bots. They oftentimes submit like in non-intelligent teams. You know, we're talking about melee in spots 2 through 6 that can't attack. We're talking about a 99 mana match and only running 2 monsters. You know what I mean? Or what was the one you sent me? Didn't Nidhogg tank with a scout or something?
It was like Nidhogger and one card. I forget which one, but
let me bring that one up. That was a good one. So yeah, Mondroid and I have been kind of joking about this. I posted on Snaps about it too. Like, it's a little ridiculous. Some of these. Here we go. This is a good one. Go right here. Yeah. So. Oh my goodness. How do I just zoom? This is ridiculous. Zoom.
What happened?
I zoomed the crap out of it. All right.
Oh.
So, as you... Come on! Don't do that. What are you doing? Oof. All right. So, this is one of the bots who decided to...
Nidhogg. The 17 mana Nidhogger Rebel strat. And I can't believe that didn't work.
And it's just, I don't know. I laugh, but it's honestly, it's not funny. One of the things that I brought up specifically in the support channel in our Splinterlands chat is, you know, one, that this is ridiculous. If we're paying for this service, or if these bot owners are, you know, doing us a service or something, and whatever way they're being compensated or rewarded for this kind of effort, it needs to be it needs to be like really investigated, because that, in my opinion, is like no effort, and nobody should get paid for that, because at the end of the day, they're gonna break the system if they go doing that. Oh man, thanks Lurkus, appreciate you updating your sub. Did you send me something, Glory? Did you send it in my Discord? But this is definitely one of the things that I'm concerned with right now. Because I've actually...
Zali has a 74% win rate.
Oh yeah, and that's the other part, is like they were already clipping at like really good win rates, and now it's just ridiculous. And so that was one of the things I followed up with today in the Splinterlands chat with Royal. Was I asked, you know, I was like, all right, the like, I didn't understand how a bot even had greater than 3,800 rating. Because if we all restart at 3,800, and if they're performing like that, if I see one of those at 4,300, I was automatically like, burp, what's going on? Like, there's no way this bot is actually beating anybody right now. So Royal responded and said, you know, ratings are reset once a day to a specific rating. We should be able to...
That's what I thought.
Yeah, they should be able to increase and decrease inflation based on the strength of the bots, because we can increase or decrease specific leagues. The bots should never play each other. And so that was reassuring to kind of know and talk about, because I was concerned when I saw these things at 4,700 or 4,300 rating, because that was essentially that's what we dealt with in the past when we had bots as normally a part of our ecosystem here in Splinterlands. Like, rating inflation, just general inflation, was rampant because they would just swarm with underperforming bots and essentially raise the floor. And so people were playing well outside of their leagues. But People Skills says, don't understand how the bots are failing in Modern. It ain't the case at all in Wild and Survival. Really? Interesting.
Well, they're set up to like the bots. What they'll do is they'll generate like 50 lineups for the rule set, just for example. And in Survivor and Wild, they take the number one team and submit it. Where in Modern, they're forced to take like the 30th team and submit that, and that's why you get these ghetto lineups.
But I mean, I guess why can't it be changed that like the champion ones don't do that? You know what I mean? Like, because that was specifically Royal said, I think on Thursday, he said, I have asked the liquidity providers to increase the difficulty of the bots in Champ. That was
so I mean, it's up to them. It's up to Royal and them to kind of like dial them in from that sense.
I mean, I personally haven't noticed a change in 3 days. Have you?
Well, I got high enough now where I don't really face them anymore.
You
but
still don't face them? I guess that's my point is, like, when do they stop? Because it doesn't look like they stop. Tower Mage is still at 75% win rate, up at 7,600 already. That's like, I faced one today, I think. I think just recently I had the exact same. Let's go look. Let's go Vorkis. Yeah, right here. Exact same. Like 55 mana submitted 2 teams. It's just junk. Like, not attacking with a Grim Bardoon Smith. Like, this team's not doing anything. Like, just a giant waste of whatever. Like, I mean, at this point, like, if this is the route that we're going to go, then just once I hit 2 minutes and I don't get an opponent, just pay me the SPS and I'll queue up again.
Yeah.
This is pointless, especially if we're paying somebody to do that. By any stretch. Like, that's not helping anybody. So, just pay me. No Gildan champ equals free win. Exactly, Tails. Exactly. But yeah, that was like my point is I'm currently 4,700 and I still got queued up with one. So I don't know at what level, yeah, 4,300 rating. So I don't know, maybe if I get up to 53 it won't queue me there anymore.
Well, there's some, I don't know how it works. It looks like you can still get matched with them because I just saw Zowie play one, but I haven't been matched with them lately, so I don't know.
Oh, conspiracy.
I don't know. It's kind of goofy.
But yeah, I don't know. And what if did we confirm, like, are the liquidity providers using ghost cards? Everything's in ghost
they
with
are.
liquidities, right? All right. I was like, I wonder if that's another reason why we've just got rampant buying of summoners, as if we're having to support all these bots. But yeah. But yeah, man, if you're in C1, you should be battling top 3 teams. I would imagine. Yeah.
Looking at my last 20 and I don't see a single one on there, but Zowie just played one somehow. Even at 77-20, so seems like now you just got to figure out how to get the bots to play, and then
I've figured it out. It's between the hours of 6 and 8. I don't think the Philippines are up yet. And, like, most of the Americans are, like, I think the Europeans are in bed. And, like, most of the Americans are still getting off of work. I can queue up a lot of bots between 5 and 8. That's for sure.
Okay.
Druid's Blood. Archons. Dude, respect.
I had like a 4-hour period that was just Lorcus and Hanvi, Lorcus and Hanvi, Lorcus and Hanvi. So
Oh,
maybe
gee.
that's why I couldn't get a liquidity bot because it was
Yeah,
just two of Rukawa's accounts were in the queue the
just
whole time.
just
So
ping ponging back and forth with him.
yeah.
All right. So yeah, I don't know what we're gonna end up seeing this season, but this season the data is gonna be junk. Gonna be absolutely junk. We're not gonna get any good data on cards, meta. Fuck. This is gonna be a rough one.
Nah, it's gonna be like 100% win rate with this card, but
Yeah.
you only played it 4 times against liquidity bots.
Or yeah, everybody just plays it. We should just all agree to submit one card into every lineup against a liquidity bot. Just what card? Let's see. It's got to be a.
Let's get what's something that's just terrible. We'll
We
get it
can.
100% win rate.
Yeah, let's do
It's the
modern.
new meta card, bro.
Modern neutral, right? Let's figure out what we're running with here. All right. These aren't all of them, are they? Modern. Oh, duh. There we go. All right. Chaos Lackey. I've never played that card. Quillstorm. Boring Hobgoblin.
Yeah, boring hobgoblin. Let's get him 100% win rate.
Let's do it. All right. So we're gonna start spamming anytime we are facing a no guild liquidity bot. We gotta figure out a way to get a boring hobgoblin in there every single time, and we can't lose. Can't lose with
No
a boring
losing.
hobgoblin.
Losing has been banned.
So good. What is that? Mondroid, you go ahead. What did Jagged try to say? Man,
I have
I think
no idea.
Mandalorian G
Mandalorian
Rogues.
Rogues.
Yeah, but maybe the G's silent. I like it. My G's are
Okay.
silent.
Okay, Morning
Lasagna.
Mondroid and Rogues.
For those of you that don't know Lil Wayne's like pinnacle of rap, like lyricism, that was it. You're welcome. But yeah. Yeah. Good evening, Jagged. So yeah, we're gonna boring Hobgoblin. Mondra and I are gonna be playing boring Hobgoblin all week against liquidity bots, just to beef up its stats and we're gonna make boring Hobgoblin great again.
Yep. He was even worse on test than he is right now, so I pushed to get him buffed. And this is what he's become.
Yep. All right. So the other inflation topics, I guess, like, realistically, kind of we were looking at Glint. This would absolutely destroy Glint. Like we've talked that like the new set that came out is going to kind of it already has. It will inflate CP. And so we already know that our mage wagons are going to be pretty interesting. Whatever conflict numbers they come out with here in the next couple weeks or whatever, I can guarantee they're not going to be pleasant because there's no way to balance that without creating something new. But they've blown CP up. At this point, Glint's going to get blown up pretty good. Reward cards are blown up. But theoretically, those three things don't have value for the most part. What do you think that does? Because like that, I have concerns now that like we're creating and setting a precedent that like kind of limits our creativity, because one of the things that like was going to be best about the Soulbound reward cards was the DEC sync for unlocking. But like if we've printed 1,000,000 of them, nobody's going to want them, so we're just not going to unlock and burn any of them. They're going to stay soulbound. And I'm just curious, like, also with Glint, like, they were talking about it in the last People's Guild of, like, next time they put titles in the Glint store. And in my head, I'm like, they're never going to put titles back in the Glint store. There's too much Glint in circulation. Like, they're not going to put anything in. We're already seeing the potion inflation. I mean, and I would argue there's never, like, we've always had an infinite amount of potions, but to like see them up it from like a single black foil potion for the pickle to 8 black foil potions for that the new voucher card. I was just like, I'm like, man, our system is just, in order to try to control the two things worth value, DEC and SPS, we've inflated all of these other things, and that just kind of worries me, but I don't know exactly what for yet. Is there something that you kind of see on the horizon where this might be a problem?
Well, I mean, when you look at vouchers, right? Like, this is why we had that idea of just getting rid of them a long
Mm-hmm.
time ago. And it's like, they takes, I mean, to order and try to make them worthwhile, like, it takes what, like 1,200 of them now to get a BCX of that card?
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, it kind of just prices everybody out, aside from like the 5 people with 20 validators and 1,000,000 SPS, or like 10 million SPS plus, I should say. And so, yeah, I don't know. It's just, I don't know.
But they're
It's
going to
hard
keep
to.
scaling the price there for that too. So like, it's almost like, you know, it's set up in a way where it's like, if voucher price doubles, they're just going to half the price of the next card. You know what I mean? So the
Right.
card's always going to be that. And so I don't know. I don't see, like, everything's getting pretty crazy at this point, and I don't like how quickly we're like variable pricing some of the stuff that we're doing just to account for the inflation that, realistically, like, where black foil potions are concerned, like, I don't think we should have adjusted that at all. Who cares if the price is at 2 cents right now? They've got like 2 other mechanisms coming online for Aura. And then, frankly, if that's what the people want to do with their land source resources, let them run that price into the ground. Because I know there's still people not buying black foil potions for their normal booster packs because it turns it from like a 1 in 4,000 to a 1 in 2,000. And so when you compare it on like how valuable the black potion is to the alchemy packs, like, of course it's not worth it. But if the potion was like sub penny, I think maybe people would consume it. But like, we just kind of are trying to, like, I don't know, artificially create super demand for stuff that's just over printed and over minted. Um, and it's just, I've noticed it now in the last 2 weeks that it's really touched every area of our game except DEC at this point. The main one we were trying to focus on is like the only one that seems to be relatively in check, you know?
Yeah, so I mean, like, I think with Aura and the land stuff, they clearly made the numbers just too high, right? Because they wanted everybody to be able to pump them out for the release of Conclave Arcana, but that comes and goes.
Mm-hmm.
And so now they've just been minted into, overboard. And I mean, like you said, it's like maybe we do need to just let it fall to the point where you don't mind using them on standard packs,
Yeah, or
and
people
that's their
stop
value.
minting the potions. You know what I mean? That's how supply and demand works. Like, your market is completely in charge at that point. Just let them, like, they'll turn off the faucet eventually when they're not making money on flipping into black foil potions. They're gonna stop making black foil potions. You know what I mean? So
Right.
just let it happen. But like, that's where, and then in my mind, from a player experience, that's where it just gets confusing. And I absolutely sympathized with Fat Jimmy on the podcast when he mentioned that, like, he wasn't paying attention and just straight up like maxed out black foil purchases on his reward vouchers reward promo that he was buying and didn't realize it came at like an 8x, and he would have never made that purchase if it was 8 potions per card. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I sympathize with that, because then it doesn't make sense. The pickle's still out there, and it's 1 for a pickle, and this other card is out there, and it's 8 for that card. That's just like, you can't explain that right now. You know what I mean?
It's not consistent.
No, and that's not even like, I should expect that essentially every card coming out like would be following some kind of mechanism like that, But yeah, so Lorcas says, I do not see a problem with Glint. The only issue I could see is if they bring back titles or anything else that could be sold without unlocking with DEC. The scaling cost of buying multiple batches and the fact that they can't be unlocked at the beginning of the cycle without tremendous DEC sinks seems like a non-issue to me. Yes and no. I mean, yes and no. You're right that like generally there's only like 20 or so people with all of this Glint, but right now all that you can buy with them is cards, and there's supposed to be some kind of demand for these cards for the DEC sync on the other end. And when you have almost an infinite amount of Glint, like sure, maybe it takes you 3 weeks to unlock it, but like if the majority of the player base can get these cards and not go to the market and buy them, then we've essentially given away one of the utilities that we had, or at least that was promised to us with Soulbound cards, is this idea that like you could unlock them and that it would be valuable. At this point, since there's no real demand for them, I would say just put them back at their burn value at this point. Like there's no reason for them to be, I think, what, 10x of the burn value is how you unlock. I'd say screw that. Like if we're gonna overprint them from a Glint perspective, then just make them the burn value. So that way, like if they mint the card and then they burn it, we were like, I don't know, it's a net neutral in DEC. But maybe there's some cross utility there then, and you can start to transfer between accounts and all of that stuff. But if we're going to print this much Glint, then there's no reason to have the unlock cost so high for these, because we're missing out on an opportunity. But so Ank says he reduced his Aura Labs from 8 to 2. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what these tickets and voucher. I mean, not voucher. What are they called? The tickets. The daily tickets and the my goodness,
The raffle thing or whatever.
Yeah, but it's not it's the other one. Oh man, where are you supposed to make these? I thought you made them in the artesian quarters.
You get a permit from the artesian quarter.
No, you have to craft these things. Oh, there they are. Okay, so yeah, it's in crafting, and yeah. So it's the auction mark is the one, and then the fortune ticket's the other one. So I mean, once these things start to come online, we'll see what it ends up kind of looking like there. But right now it's just the black foil potions, and so I can imagine
Aura, vouchers, and DEC.
Mm-hmm. Yep, Aura, vouchers, DEC. And the vouchers is going to be the interesting part there too. But again, we need vouchers because I don't know, it's just something we need to sink demand into. If it was all DEC, that would be way better, But
well, yeah, we had that discussion, and this is what we ended up with after the vote. So
yep. So Lorcas says, we discussed that Lorcas is 15th in Glint balance and couldn't even afford to buy 3 batches of mine. I am still trying to pull the gold foil legendary reward cards. I think there's some confusion between people looking at gold foil accounts and owning regular foil accounts. I mean, you're right, the gold foil aspect, but that was recently unlocked. You know what I mean? So, like, you haven't had as many seasons to be able to do that, or even a fresh run at a new season to just start pulling gold foils right away.
Just
You know what I
pulling gold
mean?
foils from the start instead of wasting your glint on
Yeah,
regular foils.
exactly. And then realistically, part of the glint question now is like, and Lorcus, your account's actually going to be a really good example. In 2 weeks, let us know comparatively what your glint pool was like last season and what your glint pool is going to be this season with these liquidity bot inflation, because yeah, that's kind of, it's going to be interesting. But yeah, Tails saying 53 card reward sets are crazy. I still want to scale back. I still want to scale back micro releases. Give us a new batch every month, you know, or something along those lines, or even every quarter, just every 3 months. Like, go couple seasons with this card and then switch it, and just don't ever go back to it. But
We need less cards overall and shorter print runs,
yeah,
so not everybody has 3 copies of the damn things, because then there's no point, and you can't do anything with them because everybody has them. So it's like the whole unbinding and burning DEC that we all envisioned, like helping the economy, it just doesn't happen because everybody has enough time to just get multiple copies.
yep. Yeah, and the only people that are going to be like, so like I already got burned from the last one. So like we had the last unlock. I made some moves on like a couple different. I think I burned, I don't know, maybe $250 worth of stuff. Like for those that don't remember, I went very heavy in the
That
warden.
Death Ranger.
Yep, the Death Ranger. I mean, for like, I'll still stand behind that decision. It was a good decision, but the new players never came, and so the demand for that card never existed, because everybody owned it, you know. And so, like, I ended up getting stuck with that. I think I own a gold foil legendary of the Kulu swim hunter, and I think there's only like 6 copies of this or something like that in circulation. Yeah, there you are. So, looking at this unbound, there's only 22 of these things unbound. There's no demand for it, you know what I mean? So it was just one of those things, like, I did it once and I speculated and I got burnt for it. So like this next go around, no way, I'm not going to do it. And from that perspective, like, sure, I'll save the money, but we're also not burning the glint, or we're not burning the DEC. There's no reason to burn the DEC. And I think that's really what we all want to be doing right now. So yeah, that's my concern right now, is that there's no reason, with the amount of glint, there's no reason to burn DEC for anything soulbounds. But show me new invested players. Well, actually, there's a little bit more. Dahas is one of them. Dahas, say hi. This man, you know, all of a sudden he dove in pretty good. But yeah, wild card values are totally different challenge. Yeah, yeah. And I'm honestly, I'm looking at wild cards right now. They feel like the play. Das, hello, hi. But yeah, it's an interesting situation that we're in right now. I don't have a solution for it right now. I just know it exists, and it's it's affecting some of the decisions that I'm making in the game. That's for sure. This next Soulbound unlocking will for sure. I will definitely let demand drive unlocking. I will not try to anticipate anything there. I will not burn anything until like the very, very end, just in case the company decides to release a mode that would completely benefit from never burning your entire stock of summoners that you had. You know, just weird stuff that might happen in the next year, you know.
Yeah, there's some chaos soul bounds that I wouldn't mind having back.
So yeah.
uh,
So yeah, Ank says he burned 6 million on the CO rewards, unbinding them 2 months later. They went to wild, making the demand 0. Yeah. And that's the other part that I don't generally like about our structure right now is these reward cards that we have right now have been out for almost a year. And
Yeah, they waste a good chunk of their lifespan. You can't even really unlock them for
yeah.
anything but 20x, which is, that's only the most desperate people essentially trying to max them for competitive reasons or collection reasons or whatever it is. But
Yeah, it's just it's impatience at that point,
yeah,
but realistically our game's not at a point where there's some cost associated to drive that impatience, as proven by Thugan. Thugan's a good example of like you don't need everything to do very well in this game. But so yeah, speaking of Thugan, Mondroid, you did another release of your trackings for last season. So this is now the 3rd season under the new Conclave Arcana set. So, for reference, your main account has a value around 26,000 while your alt is around 13. So that's so when we're talking about Mondroid versus Thugan, this is kind of essentially what they're looking at there. So yeah.
yeah, yeah. This season was my highest yet when you combine both accounts, so that was pretty nice. The survivor mode helped a little bit. I didn't use it. I didn't even play it at all until the very end. I just let the bot go on the last day. So I'm still trying to figure out if I should change my strategy at all from just focusing on modern and tournaments to going back into survivor full time. But I think from what I've noticed is that they really made it so you need to get high up on in rating to make Survivor worthwhile now. And so I'm not sure it's really worth it for my account in that sense.
Yeah. Wow, 7,500 in tournaments on Thugan. That's amazing.
Yeah, so I won the Gold Foil Silver tournament for 1369, and then another one that I had is I play in the Gold League one, right? Because I just see what I can do with my silver deck. I managed to go 12-8 with a winning record, and that was 1300 SPS. So
yeah,
that Thugan account with the gold foils, man, all those extra tournaments are pretty nice, honestly.
yeah, there you go. So Thugan brought in 12.8 and Mondroid brought in 18.7.
Yeah, so when you think of the value difference and then the SPS difference.
Yeah, I mean it's not, I don't know, it's pretty much there, right? Like Mondroid you said it was 26 to 13. So that's about 2/3, or no, it's double the price.
Yeah, it's like half as much essentially.
Yeah, half as much, but not pulling in half as much of the SPS because of the tournaments. The tournaments are really...
Yep, the tournaments are huge. The gold foil ones specifically.
Yeah. There you go. Got another one. 3rd season in the books. Like you're on your way. We have now 3 data points. If we times this by the 39 seasons, we'll get 1.1. Nice. Good for you, man.
Yeah, and then I'm thinking if I just stake all of that for the whole time CA's out, right? And then the next edition.
Yeah.
If I go in for that, say we get back to that 1.3 cent area.
Yeah.
And
this isn't accounting for staking rewards, is it?
No, that's just battle rewards and tournaments.
And so not including brawls or including brawls?
Well, ranked brawls are in battle rewards.
Just checking. Okay.
Battle rewards are like brawls, survivor, wild, and modern.
Yeah. Yeah, your stake is good. Wow. Well done, my friend. Well done.
Yeah, so it's been fun tracking it and just seeing how everything goes. And it kind of gives me a little motivation, I guess you could say, to like, even if
Keep it
I'm not
going.
competing for like the top leaderboard spot or something anymore, it's like I'm competing against myself now. Like I just set the bar a little bit higher. So
Yeah, no, I think it's definitely like I love that you can kind of bring in that much in one season. I mean, like those are the Twitterable type of moments, you know what I mean? Like I mean, for sure, $26,000 is a lot, but $26,000 bringing in $50 a week, I don't know, is that good?
well, for me, I think in a season it's like probably like 200, I think $232 at this SPS price. So maybe like closer to 500 a month, but
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know. I mean, you also have to count in the entertainment value and just, the fun aspect and all that. And
yeah.
there is like unseen value in the soulbound cards and all that. If at some point they ever become anything worthwhile, and
Yeah, I mean your account's got value to it, And the other
yeah.
cool part is that like that value is still there. So like as you're playing with it and as you're earning and as you're growing, like that account's not dwindling. Um so that's pretty cool. So yeah, I
Yeah,
gotta
and
go ahead.
so like the big concern everybody has, right, is like when your cards go to wild, what happens? And would so like with Rebellion loses a lot of value in like another year, right? Or
Hmm.
that's the theory anyway. So it'll be interesting. Like, what do you do? Do you try to sell and get out before that happens, or do you just bite the bullet and keep it for survivor mode and wild tournaments and all that? So.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think Rebellion is like kind of in low enough print rate where it doesn't really I don't know if it'll drop the same way Chaos Legion did, because Chaos Legion had like two problems. It was super overprinted and then also went to wild, so
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, it also had like the floor, like it had price manipulation during the course of its release, and so there was a lot of aspects with that whole set that we just won't be able to replicate. Hopefully, never see that again. But yeah, I think I am interested to now see if like we will go through these ebbs of like this set is here, the next set is here, just because people are playing with like a 2-year horizon instead of just like trying to stay consistent with the modern. But yeah, so my season didn't do bad. I had a full run of tournaments on Woody's account, so that was pretty good. Dropped on Vorkis a little bit. Ended up 35 on the leaderboard. The YGG tournaments did actually really well on those. The one that we did last stream pulled in the 3 alchemy packs, so that felt pretty good. Other than that, though, I think the Woody's account is it. It's a blessing. I'm gonna say that straight up. It is an absolute blessing to be able to play a gold foil account. Um, the
yeah,
work.
I can vouch for that. Like like with Thugan too, it's like, damn, this thing this is actually like pretty nice having those gold foil tournaments. So
Yep.
I get it.
The amount of SPS per effort, I would say, is just it's not comparable at the end of the day. Like gold foil tournaments are, I would say, not near as competitive as a standard tournament is because the card depth is just not there. There's 5 or 6 people with everything gold foil, and then everybody else is in the same boat of just like working with what they have. And so like, if you have more than most, you will do better than most, like just the law of all that. And so, these gold foil tournaments, I would say Now that I'm in them and I'm earning SPS, like, yay, that's wonderful. But this is definitely a point where I've realized, like, okay, this is again one of those things that the company has had to do to justify people owning this higher level card. But that's a lot of SPS going to a very small amount of people. Sure, they're putting in the money for it, so we'll cross that bridge. But compared to like grinding in ranked play in order to get your SPS versus like going into these gold foil tournaments, it just doesn't compare. So I was able to get 8,300 SPS for Woody last season. So, you know, after fees and everything, we'll say I took about 4,000 out of that. I actually got I think I got top 4 in the gold foil modern tournament. That thing pulls in like 3,000 SPS by itself. And so yeah, and then I only expect this to get better as I'm getting more and more comfortable in these. I expect these to keep going. So but yeah,
But
that
yeah, I
felt
totally agree. Cause like honestly, I don't know. Like, I guess the way I would say it is like I enjoy playing Thugin's gold foil tournaments more than like any other aspect of the game because it feels like I have a complete deck there, right? Where
mhm.
I am the one with everything.
Yeah,
And so
there
it
was
makes me kind of realize as like, you know, if, as far as like having a Helios and a Rick Lonham and all those promo cards and like new cards and CA and all that and everything else that's gonna come out
yeah.
in the future. It's like, should I just go like gold foil silver mode? Because I don't know. It's just like I can't really keep up with all that, you know, even with the what I'm pulling in, you know. So it's like it's just kind of like I don't know, man.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I'm with you. And it's that's where it's like it's a blessing for me. I'm running an account that I would never be able to afford. And specifically I'm only running it from the tournament perspective. So um like this is just one of those golden opportunities where, you know, had a man who loved to play the game, wants to play his own account, but just literally didn't have time for it and was like, I know I'm leaving all this stuff on the table, like go get it and we'll split it. And I was like, yes, sir. And
Yep.
and we're going for it. So
Let's do it.
yeah, so I mean, in realistically comparing the two, you know, the SPS that my bot was just doing brought in, you know, about 650, and then but on Lorcas, I was only able to bring in about 2,600. Now, I will say like I think I'm struggling in ranked period. I got to figure out what's going on there. This season's going to really mess with all of that. But I actually spent a lot of time sub 4,300 on my rating last season, and I just get into these like I stay at like 50% for like a really long time, where I'm just like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, before I can kind of break out like, and it's not really till the end of the season. So I really plan on doing better with these SPS rewards, especially from the Vorkus account, because that's a fully equipped account. So I don't understand why I'm struggling as much as I had been with it. But, you know, we'll go from there. But yeah, 3,200 for there. So revenue on the rentals was about 5,400 DEC. So overall, the SPS that I pulled was 7,600 SPS. Which is way up from last season. Brought in 16.
Nice.
Yeah, brought in 16,500 on DEC. So, um, you know, I think generally I'm happy with where I'm at. I think that's a great amount of like work. I think, or that's a great amount of reward for the work managing those two aspects of those two accounts. But I'm happy with where this is at and what we're pulling in, what we're sustaining. And the main question is just like, what am I doing from here? The only thing that I've committed to at this point is the pack a day of Conclave Arcana, because I enjoy that. Like, I've always wanted to be at that level where I could just buy a booster pack every single day of my life and open a booster pack and just kind of just enjoy the chase every day. And so I am doing that for the very first time in my life. And yeah, we're doing well, I'd say, after I got behind. And after today, I've caught up for I caught up for yesterday, and I'm plus a $1.71 right now. So 19 days in, and I haven't really lost money. All the $4 packs are paying for themselves. Now, realistically, they're not $4 packs right now. They're all like $3.60 packs. But either way,
Yeah,
it's sustaining itself, and so that's for me. That's healthy. That's very healthy. But yeah, so shout out to our Faded Glory for starting that one, and he just did a couple of those, and I was like, I want to do that too. And so I started doing it. It was great. So, oh man, are you playing the market like a trading card game? I'm not, but the thought has crossed my mind now. One of the things that I used to do was I used to essentially, to sustain my own collection, what I would do is I would buy in bulk and I would sell all the foils to maintain like a base rare almost for free, essentially, is what it would be. And as I'm kind of running through this right now and opening up these packs and everything, like, I've never had like $5,000 or something to work with so that I could, like, because that's one of the things that, like, Jeff opens cards, runs a real shop and all of that stuff. And he's talked about his collection and how much he loves everything. But, like, the thought has crossed my mind of, like, what if I tried to also be like a store, like a legitimate store, and sustain my own collection through that, So maybe if I get to that point in the future, if at any point I have like $6,000 or something in here of like money that I could goof around with, I might go heavy into packs, do like a bulk opening, and kind of go off with the more expensive stuff, and then like own the rest of that, flip it into more packs, go from there, and just build kind of like my base collection. That way, I don't think I'll ever be. I've never been the guy that's like, I need everything shiny and big. This game is the closest that it's ever gotten me to do it. Like, I want those black foils, but I think for me, the game itself is the game, and so like I don't need it to shine more or earn me more for a specific foiling. But so Tails is saying minus $700 per year if split. What do you think the bare minimum cost is for gold foil modern, though? So minus $700 per year if split. What are you thinking? What was he? Are you talking about how much I was pulling in on the tournaments? And you're asking
I think so.
how much is the gold
split.
foil? How much is the gold foil modern deck worth? I mean, the gold foil modern deck's worth like tens of thousands at that point, if not like way more. Especially the one that I'm running with isn't even equipped with Rebellion. Like, this is almost straight. It's like got some of the promos, but for the most part, it's straight Conclave, black foil and gold foil. So it's a little bit hard, but. So yeah, Lorcas is saying 15K. Okay, that makes sense.
Like the minimum for meta only.
But that's not counting, like, Heloise itself was like what? Like, was that like $5,000 for that card or something like that? For the gold foil?
Well, some of them were more than that.
I know some of them were more, but I'm trying to think. Lorcas got his, so yep. Yeah, he said $5,000. So I mean, that was one card. In order to really be like of that standard. But yeah. Yeah, I'm out. It's a pack when I can afford it for me now. Yep. All right.
But you don't really need need Heloise to be competitive in those because like 3 people
Not in
have it,
those. Yeah.
so
Yeah. Yeah, earning in gold foil tournaments versus card cost seems the math is not mathing for normal folks to consider. I mean, and I've never really thought that heavy about it, if it's been a part of our game for a real long time. I know that was one of the things they argued for the alpha tournaments for so long, is it was just a way for them to reward people for owning alpha. But at the end of the day, like, I don't know if just the 10% that you get for running those cards in ranked is worth it. You know what I mean? It might be. 20% on the black foils. Like, I know that ranked rewards right now are paying good. So there's a chance that like these black foil tournaments or I'm sorry, the gold foil tournaments are just even more, more than what was really necessary. But
yeah, alpha attorneys like PTSD flashback to all that campaigning and
oh my
fighting and
goodness. Yeah.
redoing the whole tournament reward structure. Oh, those were the days.
My goodness. That was a hard one to stop, but then the argument had to be made. It was like, no, you've got reward now in land, like. And so, yeah, I don't know. What do you say now for gold foils or anything, or even black foils? Like, are we gonna get to the point where it's like we need black foil exclusive tournaments?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, man, we got to talking on inflation for a really long time. I apologize, guys. I had that on the brain, and I'm generally concerned. So yeah, let me know what you guys are kind of thinking. Plus airdrops, plus 5 years of alpha tournaments, plus. Give me a break.
Plus the strongest cards on land.
Exactly.
Plus.
Nah, Jingles is right. Yeah, like you haven't gotten your money's worth out of those. Like, come on. So yeah. So speaking of, we have not speaking of, but what this show does very regularly is we talk about big brain plays, and so we actually have two. Crap! I need to search this hashtag big brain. Oh no! We have 2 submissions this week, and do I have to look? No. Darn you! Fix your search. Where are my snaps at? There they are. Alright. I gotta do it the long way. I don't know how to search for a hashtag in snaps without breaking peak D, so I gotta go all the way the last time I used it in order to filter on it.
Yeah, I think I found it by going to what is it? People I'm following, snaps I'm following, and then yours was in there. So
yeah, that's what. Yeah,
but you can't do that because I don't do snaps.
Snaps, baby. We're gonna get there. So we got Doombot75 submitted one this week, and we got Our Faded Glory submitted one almost right after the show. I think this came in within hours.
He had it ready. He's just waiting.
But Mondroid, which one are you leaning towards?
Wow, putting me on the spot. I'm gonna go with the one you don't pick.
All right, makes sense. So honestly, for me, I like them both, and we'll do both of them. That's what we're gonna do since there was only 2. We're gonna do both. So this one, this was another example where we actually saw like Silver play actually using some of these foundation cards. And so I was like, man, here we go. Like, you want to talk about inflation. Like, these decks are creeping up here, too. So we're still playing single BCX stuff. So Glory here was running on this alt account that he's running for his channel. So he's got like a $0 to $70 account and seeing what he can do with $70. And so one of the things...
That'd be fun to do.
Right, but like, man, with what time? You know what I mean?
No time to do it, but yeah.
So one of the things that he was kind of highlighting here is he had a double weaken. So he's using 2 of the foundation cards and applying a double weaken into this rule set. And because of like the level, like when you're in bronze and lower, double weaken is just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Well, look at that Ulan. It's like I have 1 health now.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Like everybody's low, right? And then so yeah, we're bringing magic damage, avoiding the shields entirely, and yeah, it's just we're life leeching. We got a taunt in the back, absorbing everything. So yeah, this was just classic. And then, yeah, you get to the back of the lineup and you're just one shooting everything from here. So this is one of those plays that I talked about with the bronze is like, this is why we had to nerf the new dragon summoner, because bronze, like weaken in bronze is just ridiculous. So to be shown that we have 2 foundation cards that are within color that can weaken, oh, gross. Oh,
Yeah.
man. So that's going to be exciting. And then our boy Doombot was running a double scavenge play here, which I think is one of the things that gets overlooked a couple times. But you know, realistically, he's gonna end up it's a health equalizer, so you're already kind of starting off pretty good. But with the double corrupt healing, the life leeches off the Lorcus, he's gonna actually withstand like a whole poison earthquake type of onslaught here. And I think the silence on that archer actually ended up doing a tremendous amount for him as well. So oftentimes, you know, when you're bringing the one corrupted healer, you know, as soon as that corrupted healer falls, everything goes down. Especially on Lorcus when you're trying to run your life leech on your corrupted healers. Like we actually see he's able to take full advantage of it here. And so, and in these cases, like he's also, that life leecher up front was taking damage during turn and life leeching and then corrupting twice. So like a crazy amount of sustain there for something that looked like it was going to die at any minute. So great job, Doombot, running double corrupted healing. It's just, and when
corrupted healer for the other corrupted healer.
yeah, backup. This is my backup healer, my backup corrupted one. Can't afford real healers. It's kind of funny that corrupted heal in my mind is just like a better version than the regular one. So like I just, especially with life leech, you get so much value out of that. Who cares if you lose 1 on your max health when you're gaining 2 on your max health every turn? You know.
Yeah, if you can slap on immunity too, it's like pretty potent.
Yeah. So yeah, congratulations, guys. I'll get you guys both 1,000 DEC, and then I'll send you guys both packs too. Remember we had 4 packs. We had 4 packs for anybody that was participating in the Big Brain Challenge. We were going to give away 1 a week, randomly spun and drawn. But since there was only 2 of you and there was less of you than there are packs available, you each get 1. So I'm going to go ahead and send those over to you guys. But yeah, big thanks to Splinterlands for providing us with those. So enjoy them. And when you get them, snap them to me so that way I can see what you opened, because I want to experience them as well. I want to. People's Guild, thanks, man. We appreciate all the subs that you do for our channel. And then Glory over here is working on the emotes. So yeah, follow up anybody that wasn't here before. If you guys want some emojis in the channel and you've got some in mind, go ahead and send them over our way, and I'll try to get them put in this week. Make sure they're square images, and I can size them down to the right stuff. But yeah. Oh man, I tell you
Perfect.
what. How are you feeling, Mondroid? You ready for the end of this season?
I'm kind of like ahead of schedule, I guess, a little bit. I've used most of my chest energy on Mondroid already, so that means I just gotta do Thugan, and Thugan's a lot easier because the queue's faster. So I'm feeling good about it. Maybe even do a second batch. I don't know. Get crazy with it.
Jeez. Yeah, I'd kind of gotten in trouble because I accidentally too had did all my level ups and had some time and did all that, and then it came to the holiday season, and I was like, every time I'd log on, I'm within minutes of being at 50, and I'm like, oh no, I was like, I gotta get this thing going, you know. And so I've been at like 50 energy all weekend, even though I've been like trying to jump in and play. But yeah,
Oh no.
holiday weekends, man, they're rough. They're rough, but yeah, hopefully we'll see what the results are coming up here. You know, they'll have some answers for us on the Conclave Arcana conflicts. We'll see what the CP inflation looks like there. Hopefully these bots can get whipped into shape and we can kind of see more competition there. You know, beat up on some of us that are up here just taking advantage of them. And yeah, other than that though, it's another day in paradise for us. We're still getting it every day, and we appreciate you guys being here to walk with us and learn with us and teach us things. And you know, we appreciate you guys very much, and we look forward to seeing you next Sunday. Mondroid, you got any final words of wisdom for the audience?
You know, I'm always so bad at this. I know it's coming every time, and I'm like, crap, I got nothing.
Need someone like wrote down during the week. I'm gonna say this, but
right.
nah, we appreciate you guys.
No,
Hang
we
in there.
appreciate you guys. Thanks for coming out and listening to us talk for an hour and 10 minutes about voucher inflation and potion inflation. And,
Them potions. There are too many potions.
back in my day, they only cost one potion.
It was one card. It was one potion. Where are you gonna even fit 8 potions on these? They're chopping our potions. They're cutting them with baking soda. Back in my day, the black potions were more potent than they are today. All right, guys. Well, you guys have a fantastic week. Enjoy yourselves. Remember, you know, at the end of the day, we've been through a lot. And so I bring up all these concerns, thoughts, and questions, you know, not with doom and gloom for the future, but just, you know, more of just patiently, you know, observing and curious on where the ball is going to drop on these. But, you know, we've been through a lot, and there's no reason we're not going to get through this as well. So enjoy your free wins on the bots, and we will see you guys next week.
I'm going to have to snipe your time, your play window, so I can get the bots.
Do it. 6 p.m. or 5:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern. Enjoy the free wins, boys.
All right. See you guys.